Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to what we call the Sunday Rise. Now, this morning, I know I normally go into an intro, talk about what's going on, but we got a guy here, and he said the tithing hasn't been tithing like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna pass this over to the boss to let him talk because them 24 karat gold collection plates don't pay for themselves. Do you have anything you want to offer up, brother BJ?
I don't have anything I want to offer up, but I am disappointed in the congregation's offerings. I'm very disappointed. We cannot keep when you got lions and tigers roaming the premises for protection. I mean, because this isn't style, right? We're talking protection for the people. We got lions on one side, we got tigers on the other side. They got to eat. They can't. We just can't go to Food Line and get a couple things of chicken. They have to have chicken and steak trucked in, fresh Fiji water. We have to make them feel at home like they're in the jungle. This takes money, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want the utmost protection for your members of your congregation, or do you want to have that uneasy feeling when you got to grab your purse? You got to make sure you got your wallet walking from your car. You shouldn't have to fear your safety walking from the car to our church doors. Okay? All right? Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to invoke a penalty fee on this Sunday's tithes. Okay? Just a little fee, a little penalty fee, just to make sure we're all on the same page. All right? And then you don't want your fellow members that deliver this service. We can't ride around. This is what is this? This is April 2026. The 2025 cars are already old. We got to get new vehicles, ladies and gentlemen. The leather in my Lexus is starting to show a little sign of wear. All right, we don't have that. That car should have been gone. You hear me? Okay, so just a little extra fee on top of the tires. All right, and for your protection, the lions on one side, the tigers on the other side. They got to feed them the finest material. They got to have handlers, because I sure ain't gonna touch no lions and tigers. They got to have the utmost protection to keep them where they need to be. We got to have Donald Trump's 10-foot walls. Okay, straight from the president himself. So just I'm just passing. When we pass, matter of fact, I don't think the congregation deserves the 24 karat gold collection place this Sunday. We're going to go back to the regular ones. We're going to go back to the metal ones. You know, the ones you touch and your hands smell like metal for 2 hours. That's the ones we're going back to. Those are the ones going to get passed around today. And if I hear anything that jingle, we're going to have a problem. Because I'm going to text the big guy. All right. And when you see those 69 and 70 Lincolns pull up, those all black Lincolns with the blacked out license plates, you know what time it is. I hate to make threats on this Holy Sunday, but I mean, I got to do what I got to do. All right. Now, with that being said, we can continue on with the Sunday Rise.
And with that being said, this morning's lineup, we got a Boston coaching massacre going on. We have the NBA playoff update. We got an NHL playoff update. Then we're going to start talking about the draft. You guys, if you didn't tune in Thursday night, we was classy, but we liked the party. We gave you all 32 picks. We gave you our thoughts. We had Jeff jump in. We had the Prodigy jump in. We had the Flying Brian pop in. We had Modiz pop in. We had a full house at one point. It was a great time, but we're going to talk about that more at the end, towards the end of the show. Then we're going to give you a draft recap. There were some surprises. One of the surprises happened on air, and we all gave our feedback on that, but we'll talk about it again. And then there were some great stories that came out of this draft. We'll talk about those also towards the end of the show. So with that being said, you done heard from one. Now that you hear from the other, and that's the big guy, KG. Take it away, sir.
Good morning. Welcome to the Sunday Rise. Thank you, Midnight Rider, for that rousing introduction. Boss BJ, thank you for that convocation that you just gave there. I guess that's what I think I'm using the word right. That's one of my SAT words. But good morning to everybody. First and foremost, how's everybody feeling?
I'm good, man.
I'll be fine when I start hearing them Cash App chings hit.
Coach Mark checking in. He said, what is this rant? Hey, Coach Mark, you already know what he do, baby.
Coach, I gotta go in on Sunday morning.
Uh-oh. They said not sure of the subject right now, but Dallas going to the Super Bowl. Whoo, Lord.
It's starting already, huh?
The delusion.
Starting already.
All right. Now we're gonna start this thing off hot and heavy because I got questions, and the man to my side, I know he has the answers. So if he will,
hold on. I'm sorry. Real quick, technical thing. All right, there we go. All right, I feel better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had to get back in his spot. I got questions. So the man in his usual spot in the wishbone has the answers. So Boston's coaching massacre. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Midnight Rider. They fired their entire coaching staff. What we like 27 games into the season?
We are 27 games into the season, and yes, they fired everybody. Alex Core.
What's up with that?
Jason Varitek. I think this is the story behind it. We're in an age now where management likes to dictate to coaches lineups and things of that nature. They have their whole analytics team, and I think Boston, since they're so young and they're trying to bring this team up together, if you've ever seen Moneyball, where he kept asking the coach to play the guy at first base, but he kept playing who he wanted at first base. Well, this is the escalation of that, where the GM has been probably asking for certain things in certain lineups, and he hasn't gotten it. So it started with Varitek, and then it went all the way up. And it just kind of was like, if you want to go, you can go, and we'll figure this out. It don't take much. Like baseball now, there's so little coaching by feel, and everything's now controlled by numbers, that as long as they got a competent person in the building that can speak and walk to hand the lineup card to the umpire and walk back, it's pretty much autopilot from there. So they gutted the whole organization. That probably got some attention, and then now they're gonna go back and bring in probably some guys handpicked, and they'll go from there.
I'm gonna ask a question real quick.
Sure.
Complete Joe the fan question. I don't know if it's gonna make sense. Because it's formulating as you were speaking. Are we gonna get to a point where you're not going to have a baseball guy as a manager in the dugout? You're going to have a guy with an iPad, and he'll be able to punch in the situation that's going on. It's going to tell him by the numbers what should happen, who should be where. Are we going to get to that point?
We're somewhat at that point now, where there's a group of guys in the upstairs in the GM suite basically feeding information. Like, I don't know if you've seen it with the Nats. The Nats put out a new lineup every day, seems like. Only difference is James Wood still sits in the top spot. But the mandate comes from up top. The GM and the analytics team basically puts the lineup together. They may have some input from the coach, but I mean, I don't know how much it is, but that's where we are now. And you see it with the Nats lineup. They come out, and then if you pay attention, there's only been a couple times this year, personally, when I watched the Nats, where the coach has gone out. I think he let somebody pitch the sixth inning or all 6 innings the other night, but he probably went out and asked him how he felt, and he said, all right, so he let him go. I think there's some feel, but I don't think there's going to be much. I think everything's going to be dictated to. And Coach Mark got a great comment. He says, can't we say the same thing about every sport? And Coach Mark, that is absolutely true. Every sport now is being managed by the numbers. You know, I think there's a great story by Carmelo he was talking about his time in Houston, where they were saying they had 16 mid-range shots that they could shoot. And he was like, well, 14 of them went to Chris Paul. So that means only get 2 mid-range shots in the game. You know, he doesn't get to play by field. It's mandated. It's all mandated by the numbers. We are in a world where, yeah, you could just put a guy out there that's good at relationships, and as long as he doesn't mess up the gumbo, he good.
Now, we've had this conversation on air, off air. You know, we've talked about this pretty considerably, and you told me something, and I fear that it's true because you said it, and it's come true. You said that we're not going to ever go back to old school baseball. We're never going to go back to, you know, where you kind of got a manager to trust their instincts because everything's based on computers and based on analytics. But the simple fact that we're at the point that we are now where GMs are telling coaches on the field, in the dugout, how to manage.
Look,
you're supposed to hire competent guys.
This is all now being managed by the numbers to the second. Like, there are situations now where the Nats don't even let, like, the situation dictates who the closers and the relievers and how they get put out there. This is where we're at now. We're no longer at just, all right, you know what, my closer is better than yours, your hitters, so I'm gonna throw Mariano Rivera out there. Nah, now it's okay. I got a guy that's right-handed, and you got three lefties coming up, we're gonna go lefty on lefty, even though my right-hander is, you know, he's plowing through people. Pause, but it's just one of those situations. It's no longer, all right, let's go with this. I trust this over this. It's, look, we got an 85% chance of success with this guy pitching against these 3 guys, and that's what we go with.
I just think this is, if I'm being honest, I think this is just dumb. I think it's overrated. It's stupid. I don't like it. If I'm being honest, I don't like it because when you're in a position like that as a GM, as an owner, the old adage was hire people that are smarter than you to work for you. You know, and we see it in so many different sports where you have a meddling owner. And if you notice when you have a meddling owner, you don't win much. Like that program that they run down in Dallas, you have a meddling owner that won't concede to his football people. They haven't won in 30 years because of a meddling owner. You blew up a dynasty because you weren't getting credit. Now you have meddling GMs. Instead of worrying about the numbers and things like that, and when I say numbers, I'm talking about numbers as far as salaries and making sure everything's in the bag, you can afford it. You're worried about analytics on the field because the computer says do this and the computer says do that. But if Frank Robinson told me to do X, Y, and Z, I don't give a damn what a computer said. If Joe Torre told me to do X, Y, and Z, Tommy Lasorda, any of the great managers of the day, if they told me to do something, I don't give a shit what analytics say.
Well, KG, you got to think about it like this. These teams have meetings where, I mean, the coach is involved in the meeting. It's just not like, there's an email that comes down and this is who the lineup is. Like, they have the conversations, they talk through it. They have input, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of the lineup is set by the numbers. You know, there was a situation last week where Jacob Young was hitting in the 3 spot. He'd have never hit in the 3 spot with Dave Martinez here. Never. He would hit 1 or 9. You know, Joey Wiemer, he hit in the 4 spot a couple times already this season. He would have never hit 4 for Davey Martinez. Ever. He hit 7 or lower.
Now to be fair, right? I've always been a casual baseball fan, but since I've stepped into my fandom of sports, I've always been amazed of baseball guys and baseball historians that can quote you stats and numbers just off the top of their head of a guy what he batted in 60 whatever and how many runs he had. But I think it's only fair that this shift that is going to analytics, your older managers aren't going to they're going to be phased out. It's just like the new cars and old cars. You got the older cars that don't have the computers and don't have the fancy technology versus what you got today, computers, the car telling you what's wrong and reporting it to the dealership and all this other stuff. So I think you if you're doing one thing and everything is run by numbers, you have to have guys in there that understand how the numbers work. Now, does that mean guys like Frank Robinson and Torrey and you know those old school guys? I think they still have a role, maybe as a consultant to the team, because you're still going to have to know the baseball part of it. The numbers are great, but it's going to be a time where the numbers might be right, but I know, like my rider was saying, I know this guy can get through these three guys. I don't care what the numbers say. He's hot. You know, he's going to get through these three guys, or a bat might be hot. So I don't think those guys are completely phased out, but it doesn't make sense if you're running your organization a certain way to go by the numbers. You got to have somebody in the dugout that understands that way of thinking. So that way you don't have that friction between dugout and management, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, and I'm gonna try to take your point to a different place. I think about like this: there's some managers still in the game. Your Terry Franconia's type of guys where they still manage by field, but you got to think about like this: baseball has the greatest gap in terms of salary by teams, right? So there's one team that's paying $300 million in salary to its players, and there's another team that's paying $46 million for its 25 guys. So now there's a way that I can only make my $40 million equal to this $300 million by what? Managing in the margins. And the margin is maximizing matchups. So a lot of these teams, what they do is like they'll see that a guy, say a Joey Wiemer, he might be 6 for 7 against this guy. Well, we might hit him second or fourth because he's hot against this guy. This guy can't get him out. So let's put him in situations where his bat becomes important. So it's really, I know people say phasing out, but I don't want to say phasing out old school. What I want to say is phasing or trying to bridge the gap between how much money they spend and how much money I spend. So where can I make up that difference? I make up the difference in the numbers and in the technology I use to get my team ready to play. So teams use all these different machines, these different things to get spin rate, and they manage their pitches and things that way because they don't have the 300 million. But if I can be smarter than you and manage it better on the backside, I can minimize the gap, the financial gap, by being a little bit smarter baseball wise. Couple comments here. I think we already got that one. Next comment, Perry says, just switched on and heard the name Frank Robinson. Had to be KG. Coach Mark, the logistics behind a baseball batting order is kind of mind-blowing. Nah, Coach, you know what? If you think about it like this, because you do this with the wrestling team. Like you think about how your guys, like who's wrestling at this weight class, who's wrestling that. Now, some of that is because of their physical weight, but the other part is how you set that up. And that's how baseball lineup is. Baseball lineup is, all right, think you in your terms, it'd be who's wrestling at 116, who's wrestling at 112 or whatever the next weight class is. Of course, 112 is where the players dwell. Who's wrestling at 118, going all the way down the line. So it's the same thing. And then in the Passenger Seat podcast says you are correct. Phasing old school coaches out. I think we phased out old school coaches in every sport because every coach now has to be, 19 and fresh out of college, and somehow he's the coach now, you know. That's a joke. I mean, most of these guys are like 34, 35. I mean, Blake Butera, the Nats manager, is like 35 years old. The GM is like 38. They're going to some of these younger guys, especially these small organizations. The best organization in baseball right now for overachieving is the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays know what their salary is, know what their stadium situation is, and they manage it accordingly. They find guys, they find certain traits, they find spin rates on pitches, they find contact hitters. They got a guy right now, Junior Caminero, one of the best hitters in baseball. And if you watched our baseball show probably 2 years ago, you heard that name come out my mouth as one of the guys you got to watch out for. So it's just Tampa Bay has a way. Tampa Bay knows they can't be the Orioles. They can't be the Yankees. So how do we make it up?
All right. Man, you want to take a break, reset, come back with
that one.
And I had to bring up Frank Robinson because, I mean, when we're talking baseball guys, we're talking smarts. Ain't too many that was more smart. Of course, I had to bring up Joe Torre. I mean, world champion. But
the other guy I thought you would have brought up was Dusty Baker. Because Dusty's the guy that's always known for giving a guy, like, if you're in somebody's hometown, that guy starts that series probably all 3 games. Or giving the guy a day off because it's his birthday, or putting him in the lineup because it's his birthday, depending on the guy. Some guys want the day off, some guys want to be in the lineup. And Dusty Baker was good at that. But he got some of that from Frank Robinson, some of that from Tommy Lasorda. Like, I think the thing that's dangerous right now is, and I can hear KG saying it, and I see it, is I think we're taking some of the people part out of managing and coaching.
Yeah, you're depending too much on literal AI, and I understand going by the numbers. Analytics is nothing new. They were talking analytics in the late 80s, early 90s. But it's just gotten to the point where it's taken over the game so much. But then you also got to realize that the players of today, pitchers are not pitching complete games anymore, when they're hot, because they may go 4. You don't have short relievers and long relievers and middle relievers. You don't have guys like that. You used to have a pitching staff that you had arms.
Uh-oh.
The great coach of Memphis, ladies and gentlemen.
Peekaboo.
But you used to have arms. Most of these guys can't pitch more than 4 innings most of the time.
That's all right. So I'm gonna stop you there. Let's go ahead and take the break because you're gonna start a whole nother conversation. And BJ gonna look at me like I'm crazy because I'm gone another 10 minutes because you started shit.
All right. Well, we will take a quick break. We'll come back and we will talk playoffs. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Sideline Junkie Sunday Rise. No better way to start your week off than with the Sunday Rise. Real quick, I know you're hearing us now, you're watching us on YouTube, but in 24 hours, you get the audio version of this show on any place where you do podcasts and you seek out podcasts. You can hear our voices and hear this show. You might want to warn somebody about the opening because BJ did do his thing this morning. I'm telling you, I was proud of him on that, man. That was some great wizardry and wordsmanship, if I can say that. But all that being said, let's turn this back over to the big guy KG, and let's get the party started and go through the rest of the show.
All right, let's get the party started right. Let's get the party started quickly. All right, we're gonna set it off on the left, y'all. NBA playoffs. We got updated scores. You know, what's the schedule for the day? But we got an injury to talk about as well. So I'm gonna toss this over to none other than the boss, BJ.
Did it real quick. Your finals from Friday. Lakers 112, Rockets 108. Final over T. On overtime, the other final from Friday, the Spurs 120, the Trailblazers 108. Your yesterday scores, the Magic take out the Pistons 113 to 105. Orlando leads that 2-1. I'm sorry, the Lakers lead their series 3-0 over the Rockets, and the Spurs lead 2-1 over the Trailblazers. Your other final from yesterday, Oklahoma City takes a 3-0 lead. They beat the Suns 121-109. The New York Knicks 114 over the Atlanta Hawks 98. That series is tied 2-2. And this will take us into the topic and go right to Midnight Rider. The Timberwolves 112. The Nuggets 96. Minnesota takes a 3-1 lead, but they lose a big piece. Ryder, take it away.
Well, this is going to be interesting because the Nuggets have struggled because Aaron Gordon and company haven't been healthy. And now we get a big injury to Ant Edwards. The update that was given to us, and this information is brought to you by ESPN Sports. He has a bone bruise and a hyperextended knee, and he's going to be out for a few weeks. So this is going to heavily impact the rest of this. How do I want to say it? The rest of this series, because both teams are hobbling in. So it's basically going to be who has the better spare parts. I think something we always say, especially on Nothing But Net, which airs on Wednesdays, we always talk about the bench guys being better players than you think. Like it's no Joe Blows sitting at the end of the bench. And last night, the kid that Minnesota got from Chicago, KG's guy, I can't say his name, Minsu, dropped 43. Dropped 43 last night. Go ahead, KG. I see the bewildered look.
No, I just got a little bit of bad news. You talking about Ayo Dosunmu?
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna say Makusab, his cousin. But yeah, he played a great ball game, and that's what's going to take. Is these games require guys to come up, step up, in situations where they haven't been getting those shots, but now they get them. You know, where they didn't get the opportunities, but now the opportunity's there and it's right there, ready for them. So this is just what we have right now, and it's going to dictate how this playoff set goes. Because I thought Denver was the biggest threat to San Antonio, but now we get a double whammy because San Antonio has been without Wembanyama for a couple of games, but they look good last night. I think they can overcome losing Wembanyama more than Minnesota can overcome Ant Edwards. So I think they may lose this in 7 because they lose Ant. So it's going to be interesting what their mindset is going the rest of the way. It's going to be interesting if Denver can get Gordon and company back. So this is the biggest mystery right here. This is going to break a lot of people's bracket in terms of the NBA brackets that we did.
It's killing it. Absolutely killing it.
I mean, injuries, it's the one thing you can't, like, you can be the expert all you want. You can pick all the stuff you want, but the second the wrong person gets hurt, it's over. It's curtains. It's crazy, man. Let's see, jump back in it.
If everything is going the way it's going now.
Okay. I get what he's saying. Yeah, the San Francisco, this goes back to our baseball conversation Enterprise says Giants with college coach from Tennessee. Can't remember the name. I know exactly who you're talking about, but he struggled early with some of his decision making. Biggie Small with his college educated Kansas City Mac. Let's do it again. Lost 2 big pieces. Ant-Man. Oh, and that's right. I forgot. Dante DiVincenzo did go out with an ACL.
He's hurt too?
Yeah, he tore his ACL. I think he's done.
Man.
And JoJo, we'll get to your pack. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong thing. My pack had a bomb draft. They had an okay draft. We'll talk about it. If you want to talk about it, DM me and I'll send you the thing. We'll let you have a couple minutes when we get to the draft stuff and let you talk to us about your team's draft. And then she says no number 1, Goody locked all the way in. That's just our comments. KG, you got anything else you want to do?
Well, when it comes to these NBA playoffs, I'm not a doctor, but I pretend to be one on TV.
Oh, you want to break down the springs?
Well, I mean, that's normally the breakdown. But now when we talking hyperextended knees, a hyperextended knee, that's when your knee, instead of it going in this normal motion, it goes back. Okay. Here's the thing with that. That can heal in a couple of days sometimes. Little ice, little rest. Couple of days you can heal. Now, see, the bone bruise is going to be the thing that's going to keep Ant Edwards out. Because a bone bruise sometimes takes 1 to 3 months to fully heal.
Real quick question, though.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hold on. Real quick question. When you hyperextend it, does the knee go back, and forth?
Yes, it does.
Cool.
You know, it does. It goes, because when you hit, it goes back, and then you got to bring it back forward because you're like, damn, that hurts.
Got you. I appreciate
so it actually does that. It actually does. But that bone bruise is going to be, they're saying this series, he may be out for the rest of the playoffs. So this could hinder Minnesota. But as I say to all youngins, and when I say youngins, it's the generation below me, take it from somebody that did not listen to doctors' advice. If they tell you to rest and stay off of it and ice it, and whatever the doctor's telling you, and please do that. Don't think, oh, well, I'm starting to feel better. Let me get out here and get some shots up. No, because you can set yourself back. I know from experience, from a hairline fracture that's needed a soft cast and some rest. No, I decided to go keep playing. And it ruined a lot of things. So, just listen to the doctors. Don't try to rush yourself back. But this right here is a huge blow. Huge. Or as Tony Kornheiser say, huge blow for Minnesota. But you got to lean on Gobert.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hold on, don't get me wrong. I give Gobert a lot of shit. But
say that again.
When he on. He can Gobert's a 20-20 guy when he wants to be.
All right, Casey, read the comments because I'm not doing this with you today.
20 and 20 what? Hold on, I had to come back to the computer. 20 and 20 what?
I'm not doing this with you today.
20
Gobert can be a 20 and 20 guy.
20 steps and 20 donuts.
20 and 20.
Okay. Here we go. KG starting shit this morning already. Go ahead, hit the comments, and then let's turn it to hockey.
Let's get the comments. Come on now.
JoJo said, okay, so let me see if I send her the thing.
All right, I'm running a little slow here. All right, here we go. Okay, yes. Anthony checking in. Tim Watkins say Katie has been out for years. That's baffling, but okay. That is baffling. Anthony said, KG, you can't tell these young athletes to do that. They have that young bull mentality. They think they can just heal naturally without going to the doctors. Nah. You got it. But see, that's the thing. Once you get to that status in sports, in life, you get to OG status where you like, I've been there and I've done that. You don't gatekeep the information. You don't gatekeep things like that. Hey, get up and go to the doctor. Get up and go see about what's going on. If the doctor told you to rest, sit your ass down and rest. That other stuff will take care of itself. Sit your ass down and rest. If you got to rest for 3 days, either rest for 3 days and not walk on it, or don't walk on it again for the next 6 months. Your choice. You got to take that OG status serious. And I guess I'm in that realm now where I'm OG to some, but young buck to others, and that's cool. But you got to take that serious. Huh?
Who you young buck to, Moses?
I guess so. Thank you, JoJo. JoJo say Gobert's been playing his ass off.
I'm just asking questions, man.
Andy said Rudy is one-dimensional player. If you ever saw one, KG, I don't know what you see in Max terms of points and give you a 19. All right, 19 and 20. Tim Walker said 20 fouls and 20 rebounds. He's making it difficult for Denver in the front court. And talking about Gobert. Perry said 2020 vision, maybe. I don't even think it's vision 2020. But he can't. Now notice, I say he can be a 20 and 20. He can give you a double-double, but it's like he loses himself some nights. But I digress. JoJo said he's making it very uncomfortable for everyone. And she said, yeah, that's how Gil was never the same. Yeah, he came back too early from that knee injury. And he started out as a bone bruise and turned into something worse. So, and Anthony said, and that's what pisses me off about the defensive player of the year. They don't really give it to a player who actually can defend multiple positions. They usually give it to a rim protector.
I don't know if I definitely agree with that, but go to Joshua, aka Baby Wife Beater. Not the term wife beater, but the shirt wife beater.
Yeah, I was. Hey, look, that might have to be the new official attire of the podcast. Wife beaters all the way around the board.
Wife beater and P breaks, baby. That's what Josh brings to them. Nuggets missed the defense. Peyton Watson, definitely agree with that. And then one more from JoJo. He's showing up against Denver. That's all they can ask. I'm not even going to do this to you, KG. I was about to say something. Do we want to go ahead to transition to the NHL real quick?
Yeah, we had 38. Let's transition.
Yep, let's transition to the NFL. We talking playoffs. Let's go.
All right, so NHL playoffs. Today's slate, we have the Sabres versus the Bruins at 2 p.m. Avalanche and the Kings at 4:30. That's on TNT. I'm sorry, the Sabres and the Bruins are also on TNT. And then the Lightning versus the Canadiens at 7 on ESPN. And Oilers versus the Ducks. That's also on ESPN. Yesterday's news, the Hurricanes 4, Senators 2. The Wild 3, the Stars 2. That's another final in overtime. The Penguins 4, the Flyers 2. So that series is now 3-1. So just to update the status of all the series, Hurricanes win yesterday, completes the sweep. The Wild winning evens the series at 2-2. The Penguins winning makes it 3-1. And then just to give you a little Friday love, because you probably just got paid on Friday night. The Canadiens 3, the Lightning 2. So that series is Montreal 2, the Lightning 1. Mammoth wins 4-2 over the Vegas Knights. Utah is up 2-1. The Ducks win 7-4, and Anaheim is up 2-1. I'm guessing that Coach Gordon Bombay is very excited about those results. And if you want, that's good enough. Let's just end it there. So, if you want any more in-depth hockey knowledge or in-depth hockey conversation, what you want to do, you want to go ahead and jump in tomorrow at 5 p.m. on Drive Time with Matty Ice, Showtime, Sarah, and Scooter. They're going to give you all the information. We're just touching on it, but what's going to happen is they are going to go in-depth, break it down for you. So if you can jump in, check them out tomorrow, especially if you're a hockey fan. Even if you aren't, jump in, check them out. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, big guy.
All right.
You want to go comments and then break and then go NFL?
That's exactly what we're going to do. I love it.
I don't know what BJ just saw, but I know it's funny.
My oldest daughter, she's making a bowl of cereal, so we can't. Right now, the dilemma is we either got a giant spoon or it's just like a super sauce. Well, there's no in between.
Well, see, if she tell her straight up,
the trauma of cereal.
One of them cake mixing bowls, and then you can justify the giant spoon or the wooden spoon. And you eat your cereal.
Goodness gracious!
Don't act like y'all ain't never ate no cereal out of the giant cake mixing bowl.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I know I haven't.
I cannot say that I have.
Jesus,
I don't like cereal that much.
Oh, okay, that's understandable. I'm a cereal lover.
Yeah, I like cereal, but not out of the cake mixing bowl.
I've done cake mixing bowl, butter bowl, giant Tupperware bowl.
See, I don't like the soggy cereal thing. So I used to put my Frosted Flakes in one cup. I used to have solo cups. I was two-fisting before I knew what two-fisting was. I'd have a solo cup with Frosted Flakes and a solo cup with milk. And that was my breakfast.
Yeah.
I guess I'm alone on that one. Okay.
No, you're not. Look at the comments. You ain't alone.
All right, let's get through these. Tim said Rudy asked to be a part of Utah's offense, and the Jazz shipped his ass out. And Perry said, "Uh-oh, boss man, dress code."
Yeah, baby.
Anthony said, "I think Pittsburgh is going to have a reverse sweep and win the series against Philadelphia."
Very possible.
Maddie checking in. Tampa Bay, Montreal, Minnesota, Dallas has been great.
Yeah, both of those series had like several overtime games.
And he said we will break down all the series tomorrow. That's at 5 p.m. tomorrow on Drive Time.
What time?
5.
What time?
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Andy said, "I know what you're talking about, KG. I've done it before." That's what I'm talking about.
Look, KG got backup. That might have to be a little segment. Does KG got backup? Because
I'm a serial lover.
It's been a couple times you said something, and me and Ryder just sitting here, kind of like,
yeah,
all right, yeah.
I'm a cereal lover to the point that my oldest son nickname used to be cereal because that's all we would eat.
Yeah. Have you been to before I say have you been to a cereal bar?
Not yet.
Yeah, we gotta go to a cereal bar.
Not yet, because I was kind of bitter about it because that was my idea.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I won't be making that trip. I'm good.
No. See, you're gonna make the trip because they're gonna on the side of the cereal bar. They're gonna have draft on tap.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, a little something for everybody.
Tim said Steelers draft was ass.
Yo,
no wife beaters. Even if we got different colors, sideline junkie logos on them.
Nope.
Everybody in white beaters.
Oh my gosh, I love this show. I love this group. Yo, I am with the perfect set of assholes because these jokers, I'm gonna say pause behind that, but it's like we just all have the same personality and jokes. Oh man, when I saw him pull up with the I was just like, here we go. I almost want. So we had a dude in college. Always used to walk around with like his shirt off. So I used to call him Little Naked. I think I almost want to call Josh Little Naked on the side. It's not gonna be his stage name, but yeah, because he's done like 3 shows with his wife beater on, so he might be Little Naked.
Hey, look, Josh said he overheat quick. You gotta have that. You gotta let that heat out. Josh be going.
Yeah, once he gets going, boy, I'll be. That's the knowledgeable dude, man.
Yes, sir.
We need a long break or 30-second good.
30 seconds good. Let's dive into this NFL.
All right, here we go. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Maybe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sunday Rise Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It is the Midnight Rider, the Boss B, the big guy KG. Now we're getting into some of our draft talk. JoJo, I know I sent you the link, so if you want to jump in, we'll give you 5 minutes to talk Green Bay draft. But first and foremost, let's recap the big thing from this week. And on this network, these 3 guys plus some other people jumped in, and we went pillar to post. We gave you all 32 picks with our opinions. We did take some breaks. We did have several people on with us. It's something that I'm glad that the big guy, KG, and the Boss B has allowed me to do the last couple of years. We started by just going until the Commanders pick, and then expanded it more and more each year. Now we do the marathon. So for 3 hours and 33 minutes, actually, it's ironic that it was 3 hours and 33 minutes because that's a curl thing. So 333, shout out to all my Lions. But beyond that, we just had a good time. People came in. We gifted a nickname on the show. I'm gonna start with KG. Thoughts, ideas. How did you feel about our show for the draft?
Well, if I got to give my thoughts on it, my rebuttals, it was put together very well, and to have it set up like that, and I always say the same thing, man. We dreamed of having shows like this, where it's not just us talking into the ether. You know, we can pull people in and say, hey, I know you're knowledgeable on this. Hey, run with me and talk to me with this. And being able to do that now is a dream come true. And this is, what was this? As far as draft shows go, this was year 7. Because I think this is year 8. Our first draft show was in 2016. I'm sorry, 2018. Our first draft show was in 2018. So this is year 8 of draft. And I mean, we would go live and really rock it. I'm talking draft cards and everything. And to see what we progressed to, all the work in 2017 paid off, baby. It's paid off. And I'm very, very happy with it.
He took the words out of my mouth. You know, I say that all the time, man. From where we started, where we are now, network, where everybody joining in and hopping in. Just like Ryder said, man, it's progressed to now. I don't know if it's quite on the marathon, Jerry Lewis marathon type thing. But you know, we be rocking, man. We do our thing. Shout out to everybody that, like always, that supports, watch, comment, and everything. Because that's a long time to be on the air. And I think it just worked out perfectly because I know everybody was rotating in and out. You didn't have to say anything. The next person just picked up the slack. Whoever was on air, you know, held it down. So it was a great experience, man. And then we had those couple of shockers, those couple of shocker picks. You got those reactions live on air. So it was great, man. Shout out to everybody that participated in it.
Nah, I totally agree, man. I think we had a blast. I'll say this wholeheartedly. I know I was just on one because I love the draft. From the tuxedo t-shirt to everything. But what I did appreciate was everybody just jumping in. I talked to Jeff. I met Jeff on Monday doing our draft show with Josh and them, and he was willing to come on with us. So I appreciated that. Modiz, like, it was so cool because Modiz jumped in, and then Modiz was like, "All right, I'm good," and just popped out of the screen. I didn't see him no more. And it was like everybody understood the assignment. Like, you in for a minute, you can hop out when you want to hop out of the show. It's no hard feelings, and then we just adjust on the fly. And that's why I always love what we do. And I gotta give you guys flowers because whenever I come up with a crazy idea, y'all just be like, okay, and just you let me go with it. No matter how crazy it is, you give me the ability to fall on my face. If I fall on my face, hopefully I haven't in these endeavors. But like bringing in the people, getting everybody involved. We had a couple no shows, so we made it work. We had Flying Brian and his son. We gave him the name The Prodigy. I love his information, his sports knowledge. When I see somebody like that, like I think I'm a little biased because I see myself. Like, I know what I know, and I see a kid that knows what he knows, and he's convicted in his thought process and what he believes in. And I really like that about him. And that was all off the top of my head with the nickname. I didn't plan on calling him that. It just happened in the moments of the show. Go ahead, boss.
No. Look, man, like I said, great stuff. And I love him. I love the Prodigy. That's what he is. He's the Prodigy. And I think it's really important, it's something that we've heard, when we started. Oh yeah, when we doing our shows, hey, y'all don't argue and y'all don't, this, that, and the other. Y'all supposed to argue. Now we're not. I think the most important thing is sticking to your thought process, right, and elaborating on why you think that way. Right. Everybody doesn't have to agree. That doesn't have to be an argument. It doesn't have to be us yelling and shouting on the show, half-naked women. Even though probably the people's choice would disagree with me on that. But
he's only one genre of half-naked women.
That's okay. Yeah, it would probably be that. But otherwise, man, look, man, yeah, the draft show was really good. It was really good, and we look forward to doing it again next April. So it'll probably be even wilder, even bigger, more people. I mean, dogs and cats. What my man Bill Murray said, goes dogs and cats. Well, I mean, look, I think if you watch this network enough now, once we go all in, we go all in, and there's no stopping us. It's one of the great things about being an independent network. You don't have the eye in the sky looking down, watching, telling what you can and can't do. You can do what you want to do. So, with that being said, KG, we got some NFL. Look, I don't know about an hour and 15, but we ain't even touched the NFL draft. We just giving shout outs and thank yous right now, but we got to get into this NFL draft. So let's get it started.
All right. And shout outs and thank yous. Shout out to Big Jim and Junie. Because that first draft show, boy, we wasn't even supposed to go more than 45 minutes. I think we went an hour and 15 on that show. So
before you go further, can you go give all the originals of this? The reason And hold on, let me see if I can do this in real time. I don't know if it's there. Um, let me do this because I want to give it its proper. Let's see. All right, there you go. It's proper.
This all started in 2017. The Boss BJ, Big Jim, Junie, myself, being on Zcast, every other night or so after work, just talking. Then we found Anchor. We found a name. We named ourselves Out of Bounds Podcast, and we used to do shows every Saturday. And I remember specifically on those shows saying that Minnesota Timberwolves were on the cusp 8 years ago. They've been on the cusp for 8 years. And they still haven't came to fruition. And in the summer of 20
and the Browns.
We did NFL shows. We did 3 NFL shows every Sunday. In 2018, but we did the 1 p.m. games. Then we went and we did the 4 p.m. games. Then we did a recap in between the 8 o'clock and the 4 p.m. games. And then we might come back later on that night and hit you with our great show, Redskins Perspective. The People's Choice Don Rodriguez came aboard and he rode through with the WrestleManiacs. And me and him started doing that. We wound up getting the Nubian Sumo, which has been a great addition because it took us to new heights. And that opened the door with the Nubian Sumo to knowing Perry, knowing Raj, and then, we had the man, Delonte. He came in, that gave us our AFC West perspective. Then we started doing these live shows during the pandemic, and this guy just kept calling in, and he just said, "Hey man, send me the link." And we got to talking, and he became, in my Ahmad Rashad voice, my main man. And
he was probably annoying as shit. I couldn't stand that motherfucker when I heard him on your show.
Well, that annoyance took us to new heights because guess what? Opened the door to more. I mean, he came over for a spell, sat down, had a beer, said, "All right, I'm gonna get on up out of here." And I said, "Where you going, man? We ain't done yet." And we ain't done yet because he's still sitting there in that bottom box. That's the Midnight Ride. And that opened the door to Matty Ice, Showtime Sarah, Scooter. It opened the door. The Boss BJ reached out to Coach Powell. That's how we Lee Ice and Flying Brian through Midnight Ride. It's just like, bro, I never thought it was true. But I found out through experience. Networking with strangers gets you way further. And 7-8 years ago, I've known the Boss BJ for 30 years. We did a genealogy test, found out we actually related through, we got the same father. That's great. I've known Big Jim for longer than that probably. Met Junie through ESPN Zone, met Don through ESPN Zone. Like, it's like so many roots. Delonte, high school, it's like the roots are there. And we built this from a recorded podcast once a week to a network. From 2017 to infinity. And I like to tell everybody, do this look like the face of men who were given an empire? No, we built that shit. So, thank you for my time.
Nah, you good, man.
You're in trouble, KG.
Why am I in trouble?
And Midnight Rider, you got a little bit of the trouble too because y'all give out nicknames, and somebody in the comments is wondering where their nickname is.
Who's that? Let's go. Let's go through the comments.
I'm gonna let y'all read it. Let y'all find it. Just know to that person, I don't do the nicknames. I just, how do I say?
I'm
I
looking.
try to make things happen for the network.
Ah.
I just try to make things
For the
happen.
comments. So let's start here. I think I already said this, but Steelers draft was ass. I don't agree with that. No W beaters. J-Dub comes back. White beaters for the win. If you look good, you play good. Oh, this is my favorite. Anthony says, and I can understand why my Dolphins traded down to get Cade Proctor at 12 because it was actually teams like the Ravens, Lions, Chargers, and Vikings looking to trade up for him. Maddie really hated most of the Raiders draft. We are going 0-21. Did he say?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said they're gonna lose games they're not even in.
Oh, okay. Shit. Boss man, there's stuff I can agree with you on and disagree with KG on, but I can always agree with the Midnight Rider. Anthony, the check's in the mail. I'm guessing I don't have a nickname yet. I'm a little butthurt. I'm a loyal viewer of your show. Big guy, boss man, midnight.
Take boss man out of it. Boss man just put the shows together, get the people together, get the roster together.
Nah, Anthony got something that mostly everybody don't have. He got his own segment.
The nicknames are organic. Hey, they just happen in a moment. But we might have to get you on camera for us to figure out the nickname for you. So maybe we get you on the show. We work something out. We talk to programming. Maybe it's a Tuesday. Maybe it's a Friday Eve. We'll figure that out. And then based on your conversation and comments, we'll see if we can get you a nickname. I can't make any promises because they happen organically.
Still haven't talked any NFL.
Well, let's get it. Let's get it right here. NFL draft. NFL draft. First round went pretty quickly. I will say that ESPN's coverage was really, really quick. It was a couple of guys that we had first round grades on. We had picked in the first round. It didn't go till day 2. The guard out of Texas, Chase Bisontis.
Right.
He went to Arizona. I think we had Caden McDonald on a couple first round picks out of Ohio State. He went to the Houston Texans. Denzel Boston falling to Cleveland in the second round was a shocker to me. Cassius Howell going to Cincinnati at 41. Jacob Rodriguez, another one that we had a first round grade on, goes to the Dolphins. I think that's a good pickup for the Dolphins.
But I think Bossman had Cassius Howell going to the Bengals in the first round on our show mock.
Somebody got a sheet.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Of course you did.
I'm not sure. I don't know what I had.
Hey, hold on. I got you.
Next time I'm gonna have to write like the master mock.
We had him going to the Chargers at 22.
Okay, that's what it was.
I had Jacob Rodriguez going to Carolina at 19. I mean, we a lot of guys. Man, D'Angelo Pons going at 50 to the Jets. We had a first round.
That's a great pickup though, because him going to the Jets means it's the Spider-Man meme. When he goes into Aaron Glenn's office, they're gonna be looking in the mirror at each other. They're the same player. This draft had a lot of surprises, a lot of things, and then a lot of things stayed the same in this draft. I think we're at a spot where I think the Jets and the Browns may and I'm saying this loosely because they are the Jets and the Browns, but I thought they did really well in this draft. The Browns ended up with 2 wide receivers. They got Boston, and I forgot who the other one they ended up with. But they got 2 wide receivers out of this draft. Concepcion. They got Boston, Concepcion, and Emmanuel Warren, all in like that second and third round mix.
You talking about the Jets?
I mean the Browns. I'm talking about the Browns.
Oh, the Browns. Okay.
I'm sorry. So the Browns did their thing. The Jets did okay with theirs. I don't know how we want to do this, so I'm gonna step back and let KG. How do you want me to, or how you want us to talk about this draft? Because I got prongs that can go everywhere.
Okay. Well, let's start with the surprises. Any surprises of the draft? I had quite a few, but I want to hear what you guys got because we all might have some of the same ones.
I mean, the surprise for me, we were on air when the Rams took Ty Simpson. That was for me. That was the biggest surprise of the draft. Then you get to see some of the media shots of Sean McVay not looking super thrilled with that pick. So for me, that was the biggest surprise because I felt like if they really wanted him, they could have got him in the second round. I think they could have got him in the second round. I don't think that the Jets or the Browns or the Browns not that high looking for a quarterback. Browns got Shador. The Jets got Geno, right? So but after Mendoza, there wasn't a quarterback that was going to come in and be expected day one to change your franchise or start. And I think for me, that's what the round number one is about. For me personally, your round one guys need to be able to start day one, unless you got a situation where, like the Rams situation, where we know Ty Simpson isn't going to start right away. You got Matthew Stafford there, and maybe he can sit that quarterback position. May be the only one, but your first round guys should be able to come in day one and get their lumps on the field and start contributing to the franchise. So yeah, for me it was Ty Simpson.
Midnight Rider.
Surprises. What's a surprise? I think my surprise, and it's not even a surprise, it's a surprise and a story. But the Eagles and the Ravens do this thing at an elite level. It's like talent just falls to them. It's like it's 2:00 at the end of the night at the bar, and while everybody else picking up 2s, they picking up 10s. It's crazy what Baltimore, Philly can get away with. I'm gonna go through Baltimore's draft. They got Oliver Yone, the guard out of Penn State, perfect fit. Because the guard they had last year, Falafel or whatever, Falele, he stunk. Then they turn around and get Zion Young, who I thought was one of the better pass rushers in this draft out of Missouri. They get him in the second round. They go back and get Jacoby Lane in the third round, who's the receiver out of USC. They come back in the fourth and get Elijah Surratt, who's the kid that caught all the big passes out of Indiana, or the other guy, all the back shoulder fades. They come back and get Matthew Hibner from SMU. They get Chandler Rivers from Duke. They get Josh Cuevas from Alabama. And then they pull the one of the best moves. They get Adam Randall, the wide receiver / running back from Clemson. So this kid was a wide receiver for 3 years, played running back his last season. He's like 6'3", 230 and runs like a 4.4 or 4.5. So think about having baby Derrick Henry in Baltimore, because that's essentially what it is. They got a punter and they got 2 other picks. Doesn't matter much. Then Philly comes in and does this mastercraft Harry Potter shit that doesn't make sense. Let me see where it is. So Philly comes in, they draft Makai Lemon, and Makai Lemon was literally on the phone with the Pittsburgh Steelers because the Steelers thought they were getting them at 21. And he had to hit them with, "Oh, hold please, there's another number calling me," and clicked over, and it's Philadelphia saying, "Hey, we about to take you at number 20. So don't worry about going to Pittsburgh. You coming to Philly. You can have all the cheesesteaks you want. Don't worry about going to Permanente Brothers." Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt, who's probably one of he's the second best tight end in terms of athleticism in this draft, and it's only because he's to Caden Sadiq, right? Then they get Markel Bell from Miami. He's another 6'9" tackle that weighs about 330, 345. And guess who he fits in with and is built like? Jordan Mailata, who's their tackle that they got out of the NFL Europe or the international program. And remember the international program for later on in the picks. They get Cole Payton out of North Dakota State, who's one of those guys. He's just like the guy they have as their backup now. So that's a perfect fit. They drafted Cole Wisniewski, whatever. And then they get UR Bernard from the international program. This is the D tackle that ran like a crazy 40. I don't even see his 40. They won't even talk about it. Dude's like 6'6", 350 pounds, and ran like a crazy 40 and jumped out the gym. This dude is, and this is what they do. They'll take a guy like this, cue up Chris Collinsworth. Now here's a guy that you don't know exactly what he's going to be, but he's going to be something. And that's what they took advantage of. Philly and Baltimore did Philly and Baltimore shit this whole draft to me. And it was crazy and annoying. And I don't know. Shit gets on my nerves. Another development this weekend. I don't know how much y'all paid attention to the James Pierce situation, but he may be able to avoid jail time altogether. James Pierce is the DN that was taken by Atlanta last year in the first round. He had the incident with the young lady from the WNBA. I think he's supposed to be going in some program, and if he can go 18 months without having an incident or any problems, he will avoid jail time altogether and be able to continue his NFL career. So that's another surprise from this weekend for me. I got plenty of content. I'm gonna let y'all talk because I don't want to hog this.
Well, I got 3 surprises and 1 head scratching. 3 surprises. Undrafted. Diego Pavia and Sawyer Robertson at quarterback. I'm surprised these weren't day 2, day 3 guys, but to go undrafted, head scratching, and not even signed to anybody's practice squad as a camp arm. Yes, sir.
All right, so here's a couple things. When the football comes out of Diego Pavia's hands, it doesn't look like everybody else's. Diego Pavia is the perfect college quarterback. His only problem is in the NFL, those throws, like there are throws that separate men from boys in the NFL. And I'll use a personal story. I was playing in this flag league, and we were on Yorktown's field. And this guy, we would be on the opposite hash, and this guy kept running out routes. And he came back to the huddle. He's like, "Yo, I'm open on this out route." I say, "Doug, I'm gonna let you know right now, you're gonna be open all day on that out route. Because if I could throw that out route to that side of the field from this opposite hash, I wouldn't be here playing quarterback with you. I'd be in the league." Point blank and simple. Quarterbacking is different, and Pavia doesn't have the arm for that. Sawyer Robertson is a guy that I'm gonna take it to you like this. When you get in the late round with quarterbacks is about relationships. All right. So think about this. The Commanders took the kid Athan Kalimanakis overtaking Grant Nussmeier, or whatever Nussmeier's name is, first name is. From skill point to skill point, Nussmeier should have been the first pick a year ago if he had left LSU when he was supposed to. But he stuck around and he tore stomach muscle. So Nussmeier ends up in a great situation in Kansas City. And Kansas City is going to benefit from him. And I think he's going to flourish in Kansas City. But being a quarterback in this league happens because A, relationships, B, finding somebody that believes in you. And Ty Simpson thing, surprised like hell. I'm still trying to clean it up for Les Snead, but I can say this much. I think Les Snead saw this as opportunity. Maybe it's something where he helped out somebody he knew. But I know one thing, Sean McVay wasn't on board for it. I think Sean McVay was looking at right now, because this shit right here. Yeah, exactly. It's the Ray Lewis. Yesterday already happened. Tomorrow's too far away. And all we can do is right now. And I think Sean McVay thought with the 13th pick, they had to take care right now. And in Les Snead's mind, because I think personally, I believe Ty Simpson is one of the perfect quarterbacks for the Sean McVay system. I think Les Snead was thinking about tomorrow. Now, tomorrow will bring a better you and a better me, because we're all in this world. But it's interesting how this plays out. Go ahead, KJ.
See, Diego Pavia, everybody used to go, they were going on this hype, but he's the first Heisman Trophy finalist since Jordan Lynch in 2014 to not be drafted.
I'm gonna throw a name out there where I think he'd be the perfect undrafted free agent signing. Denver.
Why?
The machinations. It takes me back to that song by.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said, let him cook.
He reminds me of. I can't think of the quarterback from BYU that was in New Orleans when Sean Payton was there. But I think Diego Pavia has the toughness to do something other than play quarterback. He could be used as a wide receiver, a tight end, a running back, and on some gimmick plays where, you give like a toss pitch and then he throws the ball down the field. So I think if he ends up in Denver, don't be surprised if he makes that ball club, period. So that's one of my. I'm gonna stand out on the ledge by myself on this one.
Okay. Next up is for my undrafted, unsigned, I should say, because it was a lot of people that were undrafted that have been signed. But Roman Hemby, I thought after he left Maryland, even at Maryland, he was really damn good, but he left Maryland and he still didn't get drafted. I thought he was a day 2, day 3 guy. You want depth at running back. He's a Boss BJ is familiar with him. He's if he gets in space, he's hard to bring down. But I'm surprised nobody even said, hey, I'll take him with the 5th or 6th, No guarantees, but at least it's something.
I think if he started his career, let's just say Indiana had been Indiana the last couple of years, and maybe he had more national spotlight, and I know that doesn't. I'm trying to say it the right way, because we all know that you can find a diamond in the rough anywhere, but I think it was just better complete running backs out there with the the notion that it's not that big of a value. You can go get a guy, later in the draft to play running back for you. I mean, that's the way I think. But I'm not trying to, put his skill set down. I think he'll, pick up somebody on somebody's practice squad or something. He's a decent back. But a lot of if you remember when we were doing our mock drafts, every team needed an edge rusher or a wide receiver. Every single team. And then the teams that needed more needed way more. So running back, except for a handful of teams like the Cardinals and the Seahawks that lost their running back, it wasn't really a need. It wasn't really a pressing need. We see in the NFL playoffs year to year where teams are lacking getting to the next level. They either cannot stop the pass via pass rusher, or they don't have the corners to stick with the receivers that are on the other end. And then vice versa on offense, you have these teams that can't move the ball because they don't have the skill set at wide receiver. Then you get the team like Seattle where they get to a certain point and they're playing and they can move the ball with their running game. That's cool, but the majority of the teams needed somebody that could catch the ball, somebody that could sack the quarterback, or somebody that could stop somebody from catching the ball. They didn't need running backs.
So I think Hemby got hurt by Mike Washington Jr., the kid out of Arkansas, going in the 4th round, not the 3rd round. By him lasting, because we had Jadarian Price, we had Jeremiah Love go in the 1st round. I think we didn't have a back in the 2nd. I think the next backs were in the 3rd. But when Mike Washington goes in the 4th, I think he pushed all the other running backs down in the draft. And I think that's why Roman Hemby ends up not being drafted. And he's going to go somewhere, and he's going to be a Camp Darling, and whatever that fan base is going to love him from day one in camp.
Now, my head scratcher was how everybody looked at, people that didn't come to the draft, and they had a lot to say about certain players. They looked at Fernando Mendoza, and he stayed home with his mom, and I mean, it was a beautiful scene. But now Peter Wood stayed home with his family too, and he was ridiculed for it. And, people talking about players spending money. Oh, he going to have to get that money back. He going to be broke before his first year. But you got to realize a lot of these guys that went in the 1st round had NIL deals. And the head scratch is, why y'all pocket watching, man? why y'all pocket watching? If they go broke or they become multi-billionaires, it's not going to affect your life any. That was just a head scratcher for me during the draft process, just watching comments on social media. And I don't get it. But
and even what Ryder said about how Diego Pavia's skill set, I hate, because the draft is one of the great times for me, the raw emotion. And for some reason in my house on draft day, it's a lot of dust in the room, a lot of dust, and a
lot of onions being cut, right?
It's not even the onions being cut; it's the onion juice that you get.
Right.
Whatever, you can't get it off the counter. So just to see the young men that work their entire childhood and teen years, and for that payoff, it's excellent. And then you have the other part of this now, which is social media. And I tell the big guy all the time, I've been telling him since we did this, once you put your thoughts and your product on social media, you are subject to whatever comes from that, because you don't own it once it's there. You're
right.
You're subject to everybody's opinions and thoughts of you. But I hate it how they trash some of these players, especially Diego Pavia, with his setup with all 32 hats and to sit there with his family whatever you think about the kid, whether you think he's a loudmouth or not, and for that dream to vanish in the thin air, it was hard to see some of that for a lot of these kids that were expecting to get drafted. The kid that didn't go the first round and went to the second round in Texans, to see that emotion of him getting drafted, that was excellent, and that's what it's about. But you hate the low points, and unfortunately, it is what it is. It's always going to be low points every year, every draft. But some people can be cruel on the internet, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Are we doing stories, or are we still sticking with surprises? There you go. I love what you said just there.
What you say? Huh? Y'all be killing me.
What?
Now, if you got more surprises, I mean, come on, give me the surprises before we go to stories.
No, I mean, my stories. Let's go this way. I'm gonna do this. I think the Bears got to steal because they got the kid Malik Muhammad out of Texas. I saw Day check in earlier. There's a kid with ties to our neighborhood here in DC, Jay Sean Barham. He was a Maryland Terp for a minute. He went out to Michigan. I don't know if he's going to play edge or off-ball linebacker, but he's got the potential to be a very special player. I talked about the Raiders taking Mike Washington. The Chiefs had a very slick draft. I kind of like the way they built their draft to kind of transition them into the next thing. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. So they draft Mansour Delane in the first round, and they go back and get Peter Woods. Peter Woods is the perfect replacement for Christian Jones. Delane is the perfect replacement for the guy they traded to McDuffie, right? Then they draft another corner out of Oregon, Jaden Kennedy. They draft the perfect running back for Andy Reid, Emmett Johnson in the fifth from out of Nebraska. He was part of one of our breakdowns that we did. We were talking about it was the Midnight Riders top 5. I think he was in that. I think he was fifth on that. And then they get Garrett Nussmeier in the 7th round. I think the Chiefs chiefed here because their backup is the kid Justin Fields. I think if Andy Reid can find something out of him, I think it's going to work out for the first couple of games he's got to play until they can get Pat Mahomes back. And then everything else is just Chiefian. It's amazing how certain teams just manage the draft so well. Go ahead, KG.
Now, if you had to give out, and I don't even think they release, they always do this after the draft. They release the draft grades. And I don't think anybody's released the draft grades as of yet.
The grades are out.
Draft grades out.
Okay.
Yeah, draft grades. So here, I'll help you out. So Arizona Cardinals this is all information brought to you by NFL.com. The Arizona Cardinals got an A for their draft.
I think the NFL.com is super biased, but yeah.
I'm just going to run through it. The Falcons got a B-. Ravens got a B+. Buffalo Bills got an A. Panthers A-. Bears A-. Oh, I got to correct the story. I kept saying that Dylan Thieneman was a kid that was the baseball player from Oregon. It's not Thieneman. It's the linebacker Byron Buckstarter or something like that. He's the guy that used to play baseball that transitioned over. So I apologize for confusing the two white guys in the Oregon secondary for each other. Cincinnati Bengals got a B. Browns got an A-. Cowboys got a B+. Speaking of the Cowboys, there's no way Caleb Downs can rock any other jersey in Dallas than 26. But that's just a personal thing. Bronco was A-. Detroit Lions A-. Green Bay Packers B+. Houston Texans B. Colts B. Jacksonville Jaguars B. Kansas City Chiefs A-. Las Vegas Raiders A-. Actually, the Raiders, if you pay attention to the Jamar McCoy situation, cornerback out of Tennessee. Chargers B, Rams B+, Dolphins B, Vikings B. Yeah, this is a very light drafting. B+ for the Patriots, B+ for the Saints, B+ for the Giants. Good God, do they give out C's? Jets get a B+. Eagles get a B+. Steelers get an A-. Steelers got two great things. They got the kid Caden Wetjen out of Iowa. He's a return man. Keep an eye on him, especially with the way the kickoffs are done this year. Niners A-. Seahawks B+. Bucks A-. Titans A-. Commanders B. I'm sorry. Ran through that real quick. You want to hit comments and then go stories and then let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
gotta do what you eat.
Popping up the comments here. Come on. Load on up here. Load on up. Damn. How far back we got to go?
Probably.
I see 5 on my screen.
I saw 7. Maybe I was right. I was wrong. Anthony said, I actually understand the Akeem Mito pick for San Diego. Messidor. Okay, they wanted to draft someone who's more ready to start right away because they wanted to compete in the playoffs. He said KG, based on the tape I rewatched of Jacob Rodriguez, I'm starting to see a lot of AJ Hawk or Blake Martinez. Do you guys agree? I don't think AJ Hawk would be a comp that you would want for your linebacker because AJ Hawk don't have no backside and he has no hips. That's what killed his career in the NFL. He had no backside, he had no hips.
Okay. Next comment. I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to this.
What, you don't agree?
Just real quick. USA Today, they gave the Rams a D for their draft grade.
Right. And that's all about Tal Simpson. Go ahead, KG. Go to the comment. Next comment, please. Save me.
Lord, I'm gonna have to. Ooh. And he said, if you have 15 quarterbacks on your roster, you have no starter. What the hell were the Browns thinking drafting 2 quarterbacks in the same round during the draft?
They were thinking A, the football people, and B, the owner. And everybody had to get their shot. And then they just drafted a kid that's a super athlete out of Arkansas. The 6'6" quarterback, I think his name is Trayvon White or something like that. Or Trayvon Young. I apologize. Actually, I got it right here.
See if I can find it.
Give me a second, but they drafted a kid also. But this kid ran like a 4.
Taylor Green.
Yes, there we go. He ran like a 4.4 640. He jumped out the gym. So, my thought process is it's Watson versus Shador. Gabriel's the backup he's either the third quarterback or he's gone. And I think if they are smart, they'll invest in Allen as a project that they'll bring along slowly. Go ahead, KG. Unless anybody else got something.
Tim says Steelers' first round pick was a reach.
What was it? Oh, good God. He don't like anything they do. The Steelers could be 10-4, and he'd be like, we suck. So I don't know how much value to put in this. Let me see if I can remember who they took or if I can grab the.
They took the offensive tackle out of Arizona State, Max Ihenacho.
Yeah, they took. So all right, this is a draft that I kind of liked. On the outside looking in, they got Ihenacho from Arizona State, who's a very athletic tackle, and if he can move his feet he's gonna be way better than the tackle they took the kid out of Georgia that I can't think of his name. Jeremy Bernard gives them the closest thing they've had to Hines Ward since they've had wide receivers there. Dalen Everett, the kid out of Georgia, is a good cornerback, and he's perfect for them. Jennings Dunker is the kid with the mullet out of Iowa. I think all they do is plug and play him.
Yeah. Yep.
Caden Wetchen is the return guy. I think he's another kid that sticks around. Riley Nowakowski, the black kid out of Indiana with that name. I think he's black. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's black.
That kid is a hard-nosed blocker. I don't know why Pittsburgh needs another tight end, but they got one. Eli Heidenreich. I'll go ahead and do this now. When BJ was talking about onions being cut, dust being in the air, this kid was there in his Naval Academy outfit.
Yep.
He's from Pittsburgh. He was put in the middle of the stage, in the middle of the whole event. I don't know how you kept a dry eye. If there wasn't like something, a tear running down your cheek, you just ain't got no emotions, bro. Like you need to go ahead and check in and figure out what it's like, what it feels like to be a person. That was one of the best stories of this weekend. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my second best story out of the way. The Atlanta Falcons drafting Avion Terrell. So now they have Avion and AJ, the two brothers, both out of Clemson, 6 years apart, but both of them get to play in the same secondary together. I don't know. You can't tell me there's nothing better than that.
And then to see the little brother,
right,
when his older brother was drafted, the video of that, and him jumping up and down when his big brother was drafted, and for them to be there, it's that full circle moment. That, man, that's what I'm telling you, man. This draft, man, this dust in the air. I got to get new filters for my house. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Anthony said, my surprise is AJ Housley falling to the end of the fourth when he was projected late first, early third.
I don't remember Housley being that high, but okay.
And he said, actually, boss man, I disagree with you a little bit. I can't understand why they drafted Simpson at 13 because the Jets and Cardinals were going to trade up later in the round to get him. And Matt Stafford has 1 year left on his contract.
There we go. I mean, this guy talked about retiring, so why not build a bridge when you can?
Anthony says the lemon pick makes a lot of sense because they just traded A.J. Brown to the Patriots. Not official yet, but it's going to happen.
I'm going to say this real quick. It's going to take Maryland. The bridge, what bridge just got hit by that container ship a couple years ago?
God, what's the name of the bridge? I used to go across it all the time.
Francis Scott Key.
Yeah, Francis Scott Key.
That's going to take years to rebuild. You can't build a bridge in a day, a season. So I just think the pick was kind of high for Ty Simpson. We've seen the Rams put all the chips on the table, go win a Super Bowl. So with the type of coach you have there, Sean McVay, he's the type of guy that can go get his guy off another team that's backing up somebody. It might not be the sexy pick, but him, Shanahan's a couple, Andy Reid, Ryder just talked about that with Justin Fields. They can morph these guys into what they need. And the Chiefs, I'm sitting here thinking when Ryder was talking, that might end up being if Reid can get Fields to look the way we think he can look, that's going to be picks for the Chiefs.
Right.
Because some team is going to be like, oh, we didn't know he could do that. Here's a pick.
Think about it. When he was in Philly, he had Kevin Cobb, Coy Detmer, and what's the other dude they traded away? It was one more of those guys that they traded and actually got draft capital for.
Yeah.
So if he can do that with Justin and bring his career back, that's gonna be great. I want to disagree here with this comment that's on the screen. Drew Aller is ass. I think, and you guys have heard me say this before. I say this all the time when I talk about a quarterback out of Michigan, Mr. Bryce Underwood. Like sometimes you can't put an Escort engine and a Cadillac. You just can't do it. And I think Drew Aller is one of those things where he didn't have elite talent on the outside playing wide receiver for him in his years, and I think his offense held him back. I think Drew Aller can grow and be something special. Now he might not be, but I said coming into this, if you guys remember, I said Drew Aller and Cade Klubnik could be something different at this level that they never saw as a college quarterback, because I think the NFL quarterback coaches or the NFL will open up things for them. And I think Aller's a guy that's going to end up being a 10-year guy. He may not be a 10-year special guy, but he's going to find a way to stick around, and maybe he sits in whoever Pittsburgh's OC's corner pocket, and he's going to take him everywhere he goes if he's smart. It's going to be like Tavares Jackson traveling around with the guy from Minnesota. I can't think of his name now off the top of my head. But Tavares Jackson had a 10-year career because he went everywhere that the OC at Minnesota went after he left Minnesota.
Oh, these comments.
I know Tim responded.
He did. Adam said the running back I'm surprised didn't get drafted was Le'Veon Moss, running back from the Aggies. He said still his first round picks the last 3 years have been shit.
I'm glad this isn't no, actually I wouldn't. I wouldn't. If Aller was our quarterback or our third quarterback, I wouldn't be pissed. Because I know he's third, and I know he's not going to get on the field anytime soon. I mean, you got to think about it. We took some kid named Athan Kamanakis out of Rutgers over Grant Nussmeier in the 7th round. That speaks to somebody. That speaks to type over talent. Obviously, David Blau and company believe that kid Athan fits their scheme, and they've talked about this kid the last week. If you paid attention to the B. Mitch and Finley show, they talked about this kid being drafted by the Commanders. Go ahead, KG. Let's get to our wrap downs and all that stuff.
All right, so we good with the stories?
Yeah, we can skip that.
All right. What you eating today?
I got options. I'm doing one of two things. I'm either making spaghetti or I'm making tacos. I got some chicken tenderloins. Loins so tender. So either the tenderloins with some peppers, and I'm gonna make street tacos type of thing, or I'm doing spaghetti. So that's my options of food.
All right, both.
I have no idea. Look, no idea. It may be a Silvestre's fajita mix type day.
Oh, hey.
It may be that.
If there's love in the club, baby.
It was pizza last night, so it can't be pizza today. Where'd
you get pizza from?
Oh, it was Papa John's. Okay. Nah,
hey,
it was just real quick pizza night.
Humor me for a second, because I had this. I'm having this thought process. Fast food chain that if it's by you got to get food from it. So what I've learned this week, the last couple of weeks, is as much as I hate their drive-through at times, I have to get Wendy's. Like if I'm near Wendy's, Wendy trumps everybody else in terms of fast food. So we're talking McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, those type of places. I'm not talking about Shake Shack, Five Guys, any of that. But I've refound my love for Wendy's this week because I get me their chicken sandwich or that Dave's single, chef kiss. Perfect thing. Every time. Fast food place.
I'm gonna say, man, it's between Arby's and Burger King for me.
Oh, Arby's. That four thing where you can pick the
I love their sliders, and I love the apple and cherry turnovers. For me, you have to get
fries.
Yeah, the fries. The fries are good too. I don't know what
fries with the seasoning. Oh
Yeah.
my!
I don't know what the bad rap Arby's got over the last couple of years, but they got some really good food. But nothing beats a Whopper with cheese. I tell them put some jalapenos on that thing. I be trying not to eat the box. The paper is.
Whoa. We don't know. We don't want to know what you do with boxes. Okay.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we're Independent Sports Network.
Well, if I Arby's, that orange creamsicle is something that is out of this world. I'll just go back. Well, is that or if they do the mint chocolate, the mint mocha, that one's good. But a Reuben from Arby's has always been the go-to. But I wish, like hell, that we had a Roy Rogers closer to me than Solomon's Island.
No, it's one in Burtonsville. It's one in Burtonsville.
Yeah. I ate the one in Burtonsville.
Hold up. It's Burtonsville. There's one in Frederick. There's one in used to be one in Waldorf. I don't know if it's still there.
It's still there.
So
there's one in La Plata. There's one in Solomon's Island.
Dude. And there's one in Off-Road 1 in Virginia.
I'm gonna throw a wild card out there. I think the ones in this area closed, but Bojangles. Their chicken biscuit and their steak biscuit.
Oh,
I used to say the same thing, and we had to stop for whatever reason. We stopped at Iverson Mall when the one was open there, and I think it was a steak biscuit I got.
Yeah,
and the blueberry, whatever those. My goodness gracious!
Yeah,
changed my mind, changed my complete trajectory about Bojangles. So,
I'm gonna tell y'all this. As a humble thing that I need to add to the conversation, this is seafood. It's 101 St. Barnabas Road. So KG, this is for you. If you like fish, they feed you. I had I think I ordered the 3-piece whiting. When that joint came in, I had like 4 pieces. I don't get sides from certain places when I order because the sides are ridiculously priced. But this is seafood is another good spot. But back to the thing, BJ, I'm a little disappointed with the Burger King and the Whopper. I just can't get into I'm not a Whopper guy. That's the one sandwich that is in I just can't do it. Won't do it.
I love me a Whopper.
I'm Mike Singletary and the Whopper is Vernon Davis. Can't do it, won't do it.
Love me a Whopper. Everything else, the fries, their shit. But that Whopper, something about that Whopper. I don't know what it is. That bun it hits. That Whopper hits.
No, a double Whopper with cheese. And a good order, a medium fry and a root beer.
You know what I do with Burger King fries when I get the meal? I just hit this out right out the window.
If they fresh, they're good.
Right out the window onto the ground, and I whatever I got left from my burger, I put in the fry container as a holder. That's what I need. That's what I need the fry container for at Burger King. Now the onion ring, if you get onion rings, we talking. Getting onion rings, we talking.
I don't really care for Burger King's onion rings like that. I never have. I mean, it was always a great thing when you get fries and you get that one onion ring in your fries. That was always cool, but I've never been an onion ring guy from Burger King.
But you eat the fries?
I'm a potato lover.
You put a little ketchup on them. The fries kind of become, as long as they're hot, they become ambivalent. at that point.
Now, see what's crazy is I turn into BJ when it comes to my fries sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, condiments, keep that.
Not you.
And I'm a condiment king, but it depends on if the fries are good and they're fresh. You know, you sometimes I just don't feel like ketchup on my fries. You know, I go to the carryout. Sometimes I don't feel like mumbo sauce on my fries. I just want a regular order of fries, and that's nothing else.
What?
It's a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm straight.
April 26th, 2026, 12:51 p.m. The Condiment King denounces condiments on fries. Let me write this down.
Not all the time, sometimes. Because I mean,
No.
Like those fries. Fries.
Ain't nothing better
Fries. I'm sorry.
than an order of steak fries and a burger. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Steak fries and a burger ain't nothing better.
That's the next. That's my next thing when I go to the store. So this week my fries have been waffle fries, but I think I'm gonna go back to steak fries and a little seasoned salt.
Now with steak fries, if I'm eating steak fries,
this is no longer the Sunday rise. This is the fat boy section of the show.
I gotta have a little mayonnaise on the side. Little mayonnaise on the side for my fries.
Big back radio, baby.
Nah, I can't do the mayonnaise with the fries. Just dipping them in the mayonnaise?
Yeah, get you a little serving cup. Dip steak fries and mayonnaise is great.
Oh gosh, okay.
Now, this isn't garlic mayonnaise or nothing like that. This is just regular mayonnaise.
This is regular Hellman's mayonnaise, not salad dressing, not Miracle Whip. Hellman's mayonnaise.
Oh, when we hanging out and we hit a Nike boots in the dryer, we know whose stomach that is.
Yes.
So wait, hold on. Now, B, we went to school together. You mean to tell me in school when we had remember they used to do the little cup of the tater tots? You never put mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, and shook the joint up and ate it like that?
No. No.
What?
Threw some ketchup on them? Nah.
You remember we used to have a squeeze joint. You used to go to the joint and you squeeze it, ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, and then you close the top and you shake the joint.
How hard did you have to squeeze it?
You just gotta pull it like a teat.
Oh God!
Was it just a squeeze or was it a downward motion too?
I mean, you ain't milking a cow here. I mean,
Comments, let's go, man. Y'all.
Oh shit.
Oh,
we gotta get out of here.
Oh man.
We did all this talking. We ain't going depth to the Bills picks or the Commanders picks, so we're gonna have to say that for Tuesday, I guess.
That's got to go Tuesday. Tim said, "Not your fucking first or second. It's a reason why Allah and Howard was late round picks."
oh gosh. Okay. Anything else?
Nah, let's go ahead and wrap that thing up.
Let's
Tomorrow, 5 p.m. You got Drive Time with Matty Ice, Showtime, Sir, and Scooter. At 7, you got Pretenders and Contenders with Coach Devon. Tuesday, 6:30, you got all Unapologetic. 7:45, I'm sorry, you have us back again. And we actually going to get to our team's drafts on Tuesday. Wednesday, 30 minutes around the association with the Midnight Rider and C. Perry II. And then Thursday, you got the Thursday night throwdown. And then Saturday, the Saturday night WrestleManiacs, the Gridiron. So you ain't got no excuse why you can't see us this week.
All right. Well, with that being said, that's the Boss Man B. That's the big guy KG. I am the one and only. The reason that God made him his third favorite person, Midnight Rider. And that being said, we're going to see you guys during this week. Jump in, hop in the comments, support, click like and subscribe. We are the Sideline Junkies. We are out of here.